think steady-state running is the absolute, undisputed king of fat loss? Well, it might actually be time to rethink that. For decades, it seems like the literal second someone decides they want to slim down, their immediate instinct is to lace up a pair of running shoes and hit the pavement. But what if I told you that physiology and top-tier fitness research point to several other exercises that can actually be way more time efficient for burning calories? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to completely unpack this. We're looking at 10 dynamic exercises that can outperform running and breaking down exactly how they manipulate your body's metabolism to get you better results in a fraction of the time. So we really have to start with a fundamental question. Is running actually the most efficient way to burn fat? Now look, running is great. It's accessible, it strengthens the heart, releases endorphins, and yes, it does burn calories. A moderate jog might burn somewhere around 500 calories an hour for the average person, but research shows it is far from the most efficient way to maximize your total metabolic effect over the course of a whole day. See, when you jog, your heart rate stays in a consistent, moderate zone. You're burning calories while you're moving, sure, but the very moment you stop and untie those shoes, your calorie burn drops right back down to baseline almost instantly. And this highlights a huge disconnect. The convenient, everyday habit of jogging often overshadows explosive, anaerobic exercises that can be significantly more time efficient for fat oxidation. The public perception is that long, slow, agonizing miles are just the mandatory price you pay for fat loss. But the scientific reality? High-intensity efficiency, pushing your body into uncomfortable, breathless states for very short bursts, creates a metabolic disturbance that steady-state cardio simply cannot match. You absolutely don't need to spend an hour on the treadmill if you understand how to trigger your body's internal calorie-burning furnace. Okay, Section 1, unlocking the afterburn effect. To really grasp why running isn't always the best option, we first need to understand the physiological science of calorie burning. This brings us to a massively important physiological concept, EPOC. That stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. When you push your body past its comfortable limits into the anaerobic zone, meaning you're working so incredibly hard you physically can't take in enough oxygen to sustain the effort, you trigger EPOC. And what this means in plain English is that your body has to work overtime, consuming extra oxygen and burning extra calories for hours after you've left the gym. It's working frantically just to repair muscle tissue, clear out lactic acid, and get back to its normal resting state. You're basically getting paid physiological dividends long after the workout is actually done. Now, we do have to keep our expectations grounded in reality here. If we compare the 3-hour afterburn of high-intensity sprints versus steady-state cycling, we see that while sprints do create a higher afterburn at 110 calories, that 46-calorie difference, that's equivalent to just half a banana. So the takeaway is we can't rely on the afterburn effect alone. We also need to look at total muscle engagement during the workout itself, because the more muscle mass you recruit while exercising, the more absolute energy you require. It's like upgrading your car's engine from a V4 to a V8. Which brings us to Section 2, 10 high-efficiency alternatives. Let's move right into the evidence and rapidly break down 10 dynamic exercises that outperform or match running, starting with the full-body activators. Our first two exercises are rowing and the ski erg. Unlike jogging, which pretty much isolates the lower body, rowing and cross-country skiing on a ski erg are serious compound movements. They engage both your upper and lower extremities simultaneously, demanding massive energy output from your back, legs, core, and arms all at once. That creates a huge calorie deficit. To put it in perspective, cross-country skiers are known to have some of the highest VO2 max levels in the human population. A killer way to use these is an all-out pace ladder, say 500 meters down to 100 meters, resting a minute in between. The sheer power generated by your hips and core makes these absolute fat-melting machines. Coming in at number 3 is swimming, which can burn an incredible 11.2 calories per minute. Why is it so effective? Well, first, it's zero impact, so it won't wreck your joints like pounding the pavement. Second, it requires nearly every major muscle group working in total unison. But here's the real secret weapon. Water pulls heat away from your body significantly faster than air does, so it literally forces your body to burn extra energy just to maintain its core temperature. You're incinerating calories just to stay warm. Next up, we have the high-intensity heart spikers, exercises 4, 5, and 6. That's jump rope, the explosive full-body burpee, and all-out HIIT spritz. Jump rope is a fantastic, highly portable HIIT tool, though it can be a bit tough if you have flat feet. Then there are burpees, widely considered the undisputed king of bodyweight calorie burners, because you're repeatedly dropping your entire body to the floor and explosively launching yourself into the air. And finally, HIIT sprints, on a track or bike, utilizing protocols like the Tabata method,
which is just 20 seconds of maximum all-out effort, followed by 10 seconds of rest.
But there is a fascinating catch with those all-out sprints. Lab tests show they burn a massive 17.8 calories per minute, but 97% of those calories come from carbohydrates and only 3% from fat. Crazy, right? The crucial point to understand here is that while extreme HIIT sprints generate a massive overall calorie burn, the intensity is so high that your body has to rely on immediate glycogen stores during the session. But don't stress. Because you deplete those carbs, your body ends up oxidizing a much higher percentage of fat for the rest of the day to compensate.
For our 7th exercise, we're combining heavy resistance cardio with body weight training. Picture an Airdyne bike, the one with the massive fan, paired with push-ups. By alternating a minute of absolute max effort on the bike with push-ups to failure, you're efficiently engaging your posterior legs and your upper body simultaneously. This style of circuit training keeps your heart rate soaring while challenging your muscular endurance, resulting in a massive energy expenditure that easily eclipses a slow jog.
Exercises 8 and 9 are boxing and the Stairmaster. When tested over 20 minutes, a heavy boxing workout burned roughly 270 calories, just slightly edging out the relentless climb of a Stairmaster at 256. What's super interesting is that studies suggest you naturally work harder, pushing closer to your absolute limits when you're focused on a skill, like throwing complex punch combinations, rather than just staring blankly at a machine timer. Both keep your heart rate highly elevated for a prolonged period, which is exactly the sweet spot we want. And finally, our 10th exercise might actually shock you because it's walking. But scratch that, not a casual neighborhood stroll. We are talking about incline or weighted walking. Just cranking up that treadmill incline can boost your calorie burn by a whopping 50% compared to flat walking. Even elite bodybuilders use steep incline walking to get shredded because it keeps the heart rate in a prime zone without burning out the central nervous system. Alternatively, throw on a 20-pound backpack, often called rucking, and you increase your burn by 13 to 30%. It is incredibly gentle on joint health and highly sustainable long-term.
Moving on to Section 3, the diet reality check. Look, before you completely abandon your running shoes and start doing 1,000 burpees a day, we have to ground this excitement in a massive reality check.
As top exercise science researcher Dr. Eric Helms famously points out, your fat loss is entirely dependent upon your net caloric surplus or deficit over time. It is not about what happened in a single 30-minute window. This brilliantly illustrates the ultimate caveat: you simply cannot outtrain a bad diet, period. You could do the most intense sprint intervals in the world, trigger a massive afterburn, and completely wipe it out by eating one heavy fast food meal right after. When you actually break down your total daily calorie burn, the vast majority comes from your basal metabolic rate, the energy you use just to stay alive, plus the thermic effect of your food and your daily non-exercise movement. Your active, sweaty workout makes up a surprisingly small slice of that pie. Total fat loss relies on your net deficit over the entire day, meaning these 10 amazing exercises work best as a powerful supplement to consistent nutrition and resistance training, not as a standalone magic cure. Let's move to Section 4, your weekly fitness challenge. Knowing the physiological science is great, but applying it is what actually changes your body.
So, we want to challenge you today. Look at the list we've covered: rowing, the ski erg, swimming, jump rope, burpees, sprints, Airdyne combinations, boxing, the Stairmaster, and incline or weighted walking. Which of these high-efficiency alternatives are you swapping for your usual jog this week? Try just one or two of them to push yourself out of that comfortable steady-state zone. Drop a comment below letting us know which one challenged you the most, and be sure to subscribe for more fitness myth-busting explainers. And I'll leave you with this to chew on. If we've been slightly misguided about running for this long, what other proven fitness rules are secretly holding you back?